Get ready for massive market shifts. The semiconductor silicon materials market is set to absolutely boom. We are talking about huge growth potential driven by key players like SK Hynix, Applied Materials, and Lam Research. This is the story of how these foundational materials are fueling the next generation of technology, and you need to hear the details now.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we dive deep into Elmos Semiconductor, ticker XDRA, ELG. They just reported impressive first quarter 2026 sales and net income, and they have raised their full-year sales growth and EBIT margin guidance based on continued high demand. We'll break down the valuation puzzle. Is Elmos Semiconductor truly overvalued, or is the market missing out on massive future growth potential? Now, let's look at the giants in the semiconductor space. Mitsubishi UFJ Asset Management Co. Limited has significantly boosted its stake in NXP Semiconductors, NV, with a 6% increase in the fourth quarter, adding a substantial position in this critical provider. We will explore the massive institutional buying activity surrounding NXP. And finally, we look at the broader institutional landscape. Truist Financial Corp trimmed its position in NXP Semiconductors, while other major players like JPL Wealth Management, LLC, and Community Bank NA have made significant new acquisitions. Don't miss this comprehensive breakdown of the NXP story and what these movements signal for your portfolio. Stay with us. The global semiconductor silicon materials market is poised for a significant boom, according to recent analysis from key industry players including SK Hynix, Applied Materials, and Lam Research. This optimistic outlook suggests a surge in demand across the entire supply chain supporting advanced semiconductor manufacturing. The convergence of technological advancements and increasing global demand for high-performance computing and 5G infrastructure is fueling this expansion. Industry experts anticipate robust growth in the market for critical silicon materials, indicating strong investment and production ramp-ups from major technology firms. This trend signals a period of accelerated innovation and substantial market expansion within the semiconductor sector. Elmos Semiconductor, XDRA, ELG, has demonstrated strong momentum following the release of its first quarter 2026 results, reporting sales of €152.49 million and a net income of €26.18 million. The company has subsequently raised its full-year sales growth and EBIT margin guidance, signaling continued high demand in the semiconductor sector. Trading at €186, Elmos Semiconductor has posted an impressive 87.12% year-to-date share price return and a substantial one-year total shareholder return, despite a minor 2.52% decline in the single-day share price. Analysts are now focusing on whether the company is overvalued given its recent performance and upgraded forecasts. The prevailing narrative pegs the fair value of Elmos Semiconductor at €150.40. While the current price exceeds this estimate, it still reflects robust growth expectations. Key drivers supporting this outlook include continued strong momentum in China, fueled by rising local demand for advanced driver-assist features and local original equipment manufacturer initiatives, which are expected to drive double-digit booking growth. Furthermore, the ramp-up of design wins in cutting-edge automotive sensor applications, such as multiple ultrasonic sensors across BYD models, validates the company's innovation pipeline and supports higher semiconductor content per vehicle, structurally enhancing revenues and pricing power. However, significant risks remain. The company's heavy reliance on volatile auto demand and concentrated automotive customers could pose a challenge if ordering patterns or OEM strategies shift. While the narrative suggests the stock may be overvalued by 23.7% at the current price, the earnings multiple presents a contrasting view. The current price-to-earnings, PE ratio of 29.3x sits below peers, including the European semiconductor average of 53.1x and a fair ratio of 33.7x, suggesting the market may be underpricing future returns. This raises questions about whether current expectations are already fully priced in. Investors are advised to weigh the potential upside against these risks. The report concludes by suggesting that investors should consider broadening their watchlist to explore other automation and semiconductor demand-related stocks. Mitsubishi UFJ Asset Management Co. Limited has significantly increased its stake in NXP Semiconductors (NV), bolstering its position by 6% in the fourth quarter, according to a recent disclosure to the Securities and Exchange Commission. The fund now holds 611,467 shares, representing 0.24% of the company, valued at $135,305,000. The semiconductor provider NXPI has seen substantial activity among institutional investors. Wellington Management Group, LLP, increased its holding by 11.9% during the third quarter, now owning 12,583,718 shares valued at $2.865 billion. SG Americas Securities, LLC, recorded a massive 307.7% boost in its position during the third quarter, accumulating 1,179,129 shares, worth $268.5 million. Rafferty Asset Management, LLC, lifted its position by 56.3% in the second quarter, while Woodline Partners LP saw a 6,342.2% increase in its holdings. Dimensional Fund Advisors LP also boosted its stake by 21.8% in the third quarter. Collectively, institutional investors and hedge funds control 90.54% of NXP Semiconductors stock. Regarding insider activity, executives have engaged in selling. EVP Andrew Hardy sold 5,289 shares in April, resulting in a 72.36% decrease in his position. EVP Christopher L. Jensen also sold 4,576 shares in the same period, marking a 45.92% reduction in his holdings. Over the last 90 days, insiders sold a total of 10,865 shares valued at $2.5 million. NXP Semiconductors recently reported strong quarterly results, posting earnings per share of $3.05, exceeding consensus estimates of $2.98, and generating revenue of $3.18 billion, up 12.2% year-over-year. The company maintained a return on equity of 26.75% and a net margin of 21.03%. NXP has set its Q2 2026 guidance for EPS between 3.29 and 3.72. A quarterly dividend of 1.014 per share was paid on April 9th. Market sentiment from research analysts remains largely positive. Brokerages have recently upgraded price targets. Susquehanna raised its target to $250 with a neutral rating, while BNP Paribas Exane upgraded to $310 with an outperform rating. KeyCorp raised its target to $345 with an overweight rating, and Loop Capital issued a buy rating with a target of $290. Overall, research analysts have a moderate buy average rating for NXPI, with an average price target of $291.75. NXP Semiconductors operates as a global semiconductor company, specializing in mixed signal and standard solutions for automotive, IoT, and communication infrastructure markets, focusing on secure connections and high-performance components. Truist Financial Corp has reduced its investment in NXP Semiconductors (NV) during the fourth quarter, as disclosed in its latest SEC 13F filing. The fund trimmed its position by 4.1%, selling 4,933 shares, leaving Truist with $25.2 million in stock holdings in NXPI as of the filing date. This move follows recent activity from other institutional investors, including JPL Wealth Management, LLC, CNB Bank, Wexford Capital LP, Kelleher Financial Advisors, and Community Bank NA, all acquiring new stakes in the semiconductor provider during the third quarter. Collectively, These recent acquisitions valued around $133,000. Institutional investors and hedge funds collectively own 90.54% of NXP Semiconductors stock. Equities analysts have issued varied ratings and price targets for NXPI. Wells Fargo & Company raised its price target from $235 to $265 and assigned an equal weight rating. KeyCorp increased its target price to $345 with an overweight rating, while Morgan Stanley raised its target to $335 and maintained an overweight rating. Truist Financial also upgraded its price target from $255 to $310 and issued a buy rating, and the Goldman Sachs Group restated its buy rating. Overall, the stock currently holds an average rating of moderate buy, with an average target price of $291.75, according to data compiled by channel YouTube.com. In insider trading news, several executives have sold shares. EVP Andrew Hardy sold 5,289 shares in April, valued at $1,242,915, representing a 72.36% decrease in his direct ownership. EVP Christopher L. Jensen sold 4,576 shares in April, valued at $1,070,921.28, resulting in a 45.92% reduction in his position. Over the last 90 days, company insiders have sold 10,865 shares, totaling $2,508,416, indicating that insiders own a small fraction of the company at 0.12%. Regarding company performance, NXP Semiconductors reported strong quarterly results on April 28, beating analyst consensus expectations. The company posted earnings per share of $3.05, surpassing the consensus estimate of $2.98 by 7 cents. Net margin stood at 21.03%, and revenue reached $3.18 billion, exceeding expectations of $3.14 billion. The firm has set its Q2 2026 guidance for EPS between 3.29 and 3.72. Furthermore, NXP paid a quarterly dividend of 1.014 per share on April 9th, resulting in an annualized dividend yield of 1.3%. NXP Semiconductors operates as a global semiconductor company based in Eindhoven, Netherlands, specializing in mixed-signal and standard solutions for embedded applications across automotive, industrial, IoT, mobile, and communication infrastructure. Its product lines encompass microcontrollers, secure elements, RF components, and vehicle networking systems. The stock recently traded between a 52-week low of $182.42 and a high of $303.91, with a current market capitalization of $76.64 billion.